Have you ever stood in front of a woman and thought to yourself, she already knows I'm not what she's looking for? Maybe you lower your voice, shrink your presence because deep down, you've already assumed the outcome. But here's a truth that most men never realize. Most women don't actually know what they want until they feel it. Not when they see it, not when they hear it, but when they feel it. And that's where you've been misled. You've been told that attraction is instant. You've heard that if she doesn't show interest right away, she never will. And once you're rejected, the game is over. But that's not how reality works. Attraction isn't a lightning strike. It's a quiet shift, often beginning after you stop trying so hard to impress her. The real question you need to ask. If you've ever walked away from an interaction thinking, was I not tall enough, not rich enough, not her type? You've missed the real question. The question isn't, what's wrong with me? It's, did I show up as the man she's never met before, calm, grounded, and certain of his own value? Because the man who has his own value doesn't need to chase. He doesn't bend to anyone's approval, and that's what sets him apart. You, the power of presence. It's all about your presence. The man who enters the room already full, already confident, already aware of his own worth, shifts the energy without saying a word. When you stop chasing, when you stop seeking approval, your energy shifts, and that's what women feel. Most women are used to being adored instantly. They expect praise, they expect to be pursued. But when you don't follow the script, when you don't fall into their rhythm, they notice. They don't know why you're different, but they feel it, that feeling of mystery. It's not a tactic. It's simply what happens when you value yourself enough to wait, to observe, and to enter the interaction without needing anything from her. Observe, don't worship. When you see a beautiful woman, observe her behavior, not just her appearance. Most men give away their power the moment they meet a beautiful woman, but beauty is not rare. Character is. Beauty fades, but behavior reveals everything. Watch how she treats people who can't offer her anything. How does she handle silence? How does she respond when she's not the center of attention? When you choose to observe instead of react, you stay in control. And women notice that. They feel it. They can't quite put their finger on it, but they're drawn to you. Why? Because self-restraint is rare, stillness is powerful, and when you stop worshipping her beauty, you become the one she's curious about. Part 3. You are the prize. Most men walk into a conversation with a woman already defeated. They don't say it, but you can see it in their eyes. I hope she likes me. I hope I don't say the wrong thing. That mindset is what pushes women away before the conversation even begins. Here's the truth. When you approach a woman as though she's better than you, she'll believe it. When you seek her approval, she pulls away. Not because she's cruel, but because neediness is repelling. It signals weakness, and weakness is never attractive. You've been told your whole life that women are the prize. Movies, music, social media, all these messages say you must impress her, win her over, earn her time. But that's not the truth. You are the prize. Not because of arrogance, but because you know your value. You know what you bring to the table, and that's what makes you magnetic. When you walk into a room knowing this, you don't need to perform. You speak without hesitation. You stand tall, and your energy shifts the room. Real confidence doesn't need to impress. It simply is. And that's what sets you apart. Part 4. Approach without the need for her approval. Here's the paradox. The more you need her to like you, the less she will. Not because you're not good enough, but because neediness smells like insecurity. It tells her that you've placed her above you, and that's not attractive. Too many men approach with an agenda, not to connect, but to get something. approval, attention, validation, and women can feel that energy. It's subtle, but it's there. When you approach without the need for her to like you, you are grounded. You don't need to prove yourself, you simply are. And that's when attraction starts to happen, not because you're chasing her, but because you've stopped. Don't fear silence. The most attractive men don't chase outcomes. They don't mold themselves to be accepted. They show up as they are, and let the moment reveal what's real. If she connects, great. If she doesn't, also great. Either way, you're still the same man. This is the shift. You no longer hope. She picks you. You're evaluating if she fits into your life. Part 5. Flirt. Boldly, then pull back. Flirting is about creating tension, not proving something. It's about making her feel something she can't explain. Most men flirt like they're trying to win a prize. Too many words, too much praise. But real flirting is bold, it dares. And then it steps back. Flirt like you know your worth. Look her in the eyes, give a bold statement, then pull back. Why? Because attention without absence is just noise. But attention that vanishes, now that becomes memorable. When you give her space to wonder, to think, to ask what just happened, that's when attraction begins. You're not playing games, you're creating curiosity. Part 6. Challenge her, don't compliment her. Compliments are easy, but they don't build respect. They don't create depth. Women don't crave constant approval, they crave stimulation. They want a man who challenges their thoughts, who questions assumptions, who doesn't just nod along. When you challenge her, not to argue but to show her that you see through the surface, you create respect. You become the man who stands out. You're not just another echo. You're a man with depth, with strength, and that's what women are drawn to. Part 7. Make her earn your interest. One of the strongest moves a man can make is to stop giving his interest away for free. Most men reveal their hand too early. They give attention too soon, compliments too often, desire without standards. But what comes easy rarely gets respected. You don't need to act cold or play games. You just need to hold your ground. Let her earn your attention, your energy, your time. Because when you stop giving it away too easily, you make her realize your value. Part 8. Leave before she gets comfortable. Most men stay too long. They give too much. They try too hard to prove they're worth staying for. But the truth is, attraction is built in space. It grows in absence, in curiosity. When you leave before she gets too comfortable, she starts to wonder. She starts to chase. It's not about playing games. It's about knowing when your presence is valued and when it's being taken for granted. You're not here to impress her. You're here to be real. The man who stops chasing approval, who values himself enough to stand firm in his presence, becomes the one worth chasing. So the next time you meet a woman, don't start with compliments. Start with presence. Start with stillness. Show her that you don't need her to validate you. You are the prize. And when you stand in your power, you make her realize that your attention is earned, not given. And that's when attraction begins.